photographed them, filmed them, actually followed the trail in the snow to where the Sasquatch apparently stepped onto some ground soft enough for him to make a partial cast. The eyewitness descriptions, eyewitness drawings.
Deep in the remote forests of Siberia, a man named Igor lived in solitude. Thick woods surrounded his home. The wilderness was his constant companion. He was used to the usual sounds of nature, rustling leaves, chirping birds, and howling winds. But one night, something strange happened. Loud, eerie growls echoed through the trees. These sounds were unlike anything Igor had heard before. They were not the noises of ordinary forest animals. The growls continued for several nights. Each time they grew louder and more intense. Curious and a little scared, Igor decided to find out what was causing them. One night, Igor picked up his night vision camera. With his heart pounding, he stepped into the pitch-black forest. The camera's green glow lit up his path as he moved deeper into the woods. Suddenly, his camera captured something strange. A shadowy figure stood just beyond the trees. It did not move. It seemed to be watching him. Igor froze. The creature stayed still for a moment, then slowly disappeared into the trees. Later in the recording, the figure appeared again. This time, it sat in the grass, still staring at Igor. Its gaze was unsettling. It felt like the creature could see him clearly, even in the dark. At one point, the figure seemed to come closer. Igor, feeling unsafe, quickly returned to his home. He locked his door and stayed inside. To this day, no one knows what Igor saw that night. The growls have not returned, but questions remain. What was out there in the forest? The Lake Worth monster. In a different part of the world, another strange creature was spotted. This time, it was in Lake Worth, Texas. A trail camera captured the image in a remote field. The creature was covered in thick white fur. Its large rounded head and wide shoulders matched the typical descriptions of Bigfoot. But this one was different. Most Bigfoot sightings describe creatures with dark fur. This one had bright white fur, making it look like a yeti. The image shows the creature's powerful build. Its fur clings tightly to its body, especially around its broad shoulders and back. Some believe this might be a rare version of Bigfoot, or even a yeti.
Confident are you this film's real?
At this point, I'm as confident as I can be, short of having stood on the sandbar with Roger and Bob and witnessed it myself.
The legend of the Yeti. The Yeti, also known as the Abominable Snowman, is one of the most famous cryptids in the world. Stories of this mysterious creature come from the snowy Himalayan mountains. Many describe it as a tall, ape-like being covered in thick fur. Standing between 6 and 10 feet tall, the Yeti's fur, often white, brown, or gray, helps it survive the freezing cold. Its face is said to look more human than animal. With a strong, muscular body and a heavy, lumbering walk, the Yeti is unlike any known creature. Over the years, people have reported finding massive footprints in snowy regions. These prints, measuring between 13 and 15 inches long, are often seen as evidence of the Yeti's existence. One of the earliest sightings came in 1921. Lieutenant Colonel Charles Howard Berry found large, mysterious footprints on Mount Everest. He believed they belonged to a wild, unknown creature. In 1951, British mountaineer Eric Shipton captured a photograph of huge footprints in the snow. These photos remain some of the strongest evidence supporting the Yeti's existence. The image, showing the distinct prints, still fascinates researchers and enthusiasts today. A new Bigfoot sighting. In a remote part of Canada, an ordinary day turned into something extraordinary. According to the uploader of a recent video, a driver was inspecting a burning brush pile near his property. He didn't notice anything unusual at the time, as his attention was on the flames. Later, while reviewing dashcam footage, the driver spotted something chilling. Behind a shed near the burn pile stood a massive, upright figure. The dark, hairy creature seemed to blend into the trees. To help viewers identify it, the uploader slowed down the footage. The figure, towering over the 6-foot shed, was estimated to be at least 8 feet tall. Its fur was mostly dark black, fading into a lighter brown shade around its stomach. This gradual change in coloration added to the creature's realistic appearance. One striking detail was the creature's stillness. It didn't move, seemingly trying to blend into the surroundings. While this tactic might have hidden it from view in real time, the dashcam unknowingly recorded its presence. Though the low frame rate of the footage made the image somewhat blurry, the video remains fascinating. It raises questions about its authenticity. Could this be genuine evidence of Bigfoot, or might it be an elaborate hoax? Bigfoot on Mount St. Helens. The next story takes us to Mount St. Helens, a place steeped in Bigfoot lore. 2 hikers, climbing the mountain's rugged terrain, captured something unusual. This area, known for past Bigfoot sightings, is the setting for some famous encounters. One such tale is the 1924 story of miners attacked by a group of Bigfoot-like creatures in Monkey Canyon. This gorge, located on the southeastern slope of Mount St. Helens, has become a hotspot for cryptid enthusiasts. As the hikers explored the area, they noticed something strange in a clearing below. One of them exclaimed, "Hey, there's something down there." The other replied, "Oh yeah, I see it." Their footage shows a figure moving among the trees. Let's take a look at the clip.
Hey, there's something down there. You see that in the clearing?
In the footage captured, a tall, dark figure can be seen. It appears to be running away, possibly startled by the sound of falling stones. There's a chance it noticed the hikers filming from a distance. The figure's size stands out. It's clearly taller than an average human. However, the distance and lighting make it difficult to identify the creature with certainty. Many photos and videos of Bigfoot have been taken on Mount St. Helens over the years. Interestingly, these sightings often describe creatures with similar features. Could they all be connected? Perhaps it's a single Bigfoot family living in the area. The Northern California encounter. Another sighting comes from a remote trail in Northern California. On New Year's Day in 2020, a woman captured a photo of a strange figure while hiking. The image later gained attention when the account, Boise Bigfoot, shared it online. The figure was spotted peering over a ridgeline. Its estimated height, based on the surrounding landscape, was between 7 and 8 feet tall. Despite the photo being blurry, some details stand out. The figure appears to have a cone-shaped head, a lighter-colored face, large eyes, and a prominent nose. While skeptics suggested it could be a bear, closer analysis challenges that theory. A bear's shoulders slope inward, and its head is rounded. This figure, however, has broad, muscular shoulders and a more human or ape-like shape. These physical differences have led many to rule out the possibility of a bear. Some speculate that the creature might be a dogman, a cryptid often described in folklore. However, others believe it's more likely a Bigfoot, given its similar build and features. A mysterious visitor in Alberta. The Voyager Overland YouTube channel, known for showcasing off-road adventures, camping trips, and scenic landscapes, recently shared an unusual story from their summer trip. The channel's author, along with his wife, grandchildren, and grandfather, ventured to the Ruby Falls Mountains in Alberta. During the trip, they parked at a scenic spot, set up camp, and enjoyed the area's natural beauty. Later, they moved to another location and decided to install a trail camera around the camp, hoping to capture footage of wildlife. However, what the camera recorded was far beyond their expectations. In the night footage, a humanoid figure appeared, sneaking through the camp. The creature moved cautiously, looking around as if familiar with its surroundings. Strangely, the figure seemed partially translucent at times. This effect may have been caused by motion blur, poor infrared lighting, or both. To analyze the footage, the author applied light filters and enlarged the image by 150%. Even with enhancements, the figure remains a mystery. While it's unclear what exactly was captured, the video has sparked intense curiosity and speculation. Encounters like this are rare, reminding us that such events could happen anywhere. The high-definition Sasquatch photo. Earlier this year, a Bigfoot photo gained widespread attention on Instagram. Unlike the usual blurry images, this one stands out for its high-definition clarity. The Sasquatch in the image has light brown fur and strikingly human-like features. The details in the photo are remarkable. The creature's forehead has defined wrinkles, its dark eyes appear thoughtful, and its small nose and slightly open mouth add to its lifelike quality. The hand is particularly striking, hairless and human-like, but much larger than a normal hand. Another notable feature is the thinning fur on the creature's chest, exposing parts of its pectoral muscles and skin. The close-lying fur reveals a wide, muscular build, adding to the photo's realism. Despite its clarity, the image has divided opinions. Skeptics argue it's a costume, possibly a prop similar to those used in commercials or films. In contrast, believers claim the level of detail is too realistic for a costume, pointing out the intricate anatomy and texture of the figure. The debate continues, with no consensus in sight. Could this image be the best evidence yet of Bigfoot's existence? Or is it simply an elaborate hoax? Let's let the next sighting decide. The eerie Connersville footage. In November 2024, an unsettling video shared by Mark, also known as Livewire, began gaining attention online. The footage, captured at 3:27 a.m. in a remote wooded area near Connersville, Indiana, depicts an eerie encounter with possible cryptids. The video begins with a startling scene. Gunshots echo in the background as Mark's most protective dog barks aggressively. Mark, who had set up a trail cam near his home, reviewed the footage later and noticed movement near the bottom right corner of the screen. In the video, a shadowy bipedal figure can be seen approaching the house, moving through the bushes to the left of a utility pole. Mark described quick leg movements that didn't resemble any typical animal behavior. Upon closer inspection, he believed there were not one, but 2 or 3 figures lurking in the field. Initially, he thought they might be horses, but their movements were inconsistent with any known animal. Mark also mentioned a peculiar phenomenon: rocks seemingly being thrown at his house. The objects, possibly aimed at his metal storm shelter or the house itself, created loud noises. He theorized that the rocks might be part of a deliberate effort to observe his household. He suggested the creatures could be testing how people inside react, observing patterns like which windows are checked and which doors are used most frequently. This theory, though speculative, aligns with other reports of alleged Bigfoot activity where rock throwing has been observed. Mark's account adds a chilling layer of potential intelligence behind the creature's actions. The Connersville footage quickly became a hot topic online, sparking debates and interest among enthusiasts and skeptics alike. The combination of shadowy figures, unusual movements, and mysterious noises has left viewers questioning the true nature of what was captured that night. But that's not all. There have been sightings in Southeast Indiana as well. Southeast Indiana's Bigfoot mystery. The forests of Southeast Indiana have become a focal point for cryptid enthusiasts after a series of compelling reports and photographic evidence emerged. These reports, submitted to the Rocky Mountain Sasquatch Investigative Group by a man named Josh Banker, paint a vivid picture of what might be lurking in the dense wilderness. Josh's trail camera, triggered by motion and heat, captured a sequence of 4 fascinating images. The most notable, the second in the burst, shows a large bipedal figure with arms spread wide in motion. The figure's unusual gait does not resemble human movement, and its broad muscular build, round head, long arms, thick legs, and dense fur align with the classic descriptions of a Sasquatch. While the camera quality isn't high definition, the clarity of the images is enough to rule out smaller animals or simple misidentifications. Josh's reaction was a mix of awe and caution, stating, "I guess I won't be going into the woods without my .40 anymore." Context and surrounding evidence. To provide a sense of scale and setting, Josh shared daytime photos of the area where the trail camera was installed. The forested location, with dense undergrowth and open trails, seems ideal for an elusive creature to roam unnoticed. In addition to the photos, researcher Jeff Adams from Rocky Mountain Sasquatch discovered highly detailed footprints nearby. These prints, measuring approximately 6 inches in width and featuring distinct toes, were far larger than a typical human footprint. Jeff and his family claim to have seen the creature firsthand, describing it as a tall, dark, and hairy humanoid, consistent with the images captured. Community reports. Josh's neighbors also added to the mystery, reporting strange, unexplainable screeching sounds echoing from the forest at night. Initially dismissed as the sounds of deer or other common wildlife, these eerie noises have taken on new significance in light of the photographic and physical evidence. This convergence of photographic evidence, physical tracks, and eyewitness reports makes for a compelling case. While skeptics may point to the lack of HD clarity or alternative explanations, the consistent details and multiple accounts lend credence to the possibility of something extraordinary lurking in the forests of southeast Indiana. A mysterious encounter in the backyard. One night, at exactly 11:03 p.m., a man heard strange noises coming from his backyard. Feeling uneasy but curious, he stepped outside to investigate. He searched for footprints or any signs of unusual activity. Despite carefully looking, he found nothing. Still suspicious, he decided to check his backyard security camera. The camera was pointed directly at the yard, capturing everything. What he saw left him stunned. In the footage, a dark, shadowy humanoid figure appeared. It quickly ran across the frame. Its most striking feature was its glowing eyes, which stood out in the darkness. The dog's reaction confirms the presence. The man's dog was outside during this event. In the video, the dog can be seen reacting to the figure. Its ears perked up, and its head followed the movement. This strongly suggested that the figure wasn't just on camera, but present in real life. This reaction ruled out the idea that the video might have been edited or manipulated. The figure then vanished suddenly, as if it had disappeared into thin air. Theories and questions. This eerie footage has sparked debates. Some believe it could be evidence of something paranormal. Skeptics argue that it might have been a person running through the yard. But questions remain. Why would someone run through private property in the middle of the night? And how can the glowing eyes be explained? To this day, the homeowner has no answers. He admits he's not eager to find out what it was. Footprints discovered on Vancouver Island. On Vancouver Island, another strange encounter took place. A witness discovered unusually large and strange footprints in the snow. News of the discovery spread fast. It caught the attention of cryptid researchers and even scientists. They measured the footprints, made casts, and studied them in detail. However, they couldn't replicate the stride of the prints, which measured between 4 to 6 feet apart, a distance almost impossible for humans. Detailed examination of the tracks. The footprints were wide and much longer than any known human or animal tracks. They also showed clear details, such as heel marks and large toes. The depth of the prints in the snow was remarkable. Researchers photographed and filmed the tracks. They followed the trail in the snow until it led to softer ground. There, they were able to create a partial cast of the footprints. For comparison, human footprints made with snow boots were placed next to these mysterious tracks. The difference in size was shocking. The massive footprints stood out in every way. But here's what the experts have to say. John Bogle, a biologist and Sasquatch researcher, weighed in on the case. He has a collection of footprint casts that he believes are authentic. Now, he has added these Vancouver Island prints to his collection. Bogle noted that the prints were extraordinarily wide and long, unlike any human or animal. He pointed out how the details, such as the heel and toes, made the prints compelling evidence. Vancouver Island, a Bigfoot hotspot. Vancouver Island, located off Canada's Pacific coast, is considered a hotspot for Bigfoot sightings. Canada, in general, has frequent reports of Sasquatch activity. This region has been the focus of many investigations, and the evidence collected here only adds to the mystery. The large footprints found on Vancouver Island remain unexplained, leaving many to wonder if they are a glimpse of something unknown. And apart from the footprints and footage, we've got more ways to solidify these claims. DNA analysis. Sometimes researchers find hair, skin, or other samples at a sighting location. By analyzing DNA from these samples, scientists can figure out if they belong to an animal we know or something entirely new. DNA analysis has become a game-changer in cryptid research, drones and thermal imaging. Technology like drones and thermal imaging cameras has taken cryptid hunting to the next level. Drones can cover hard-to-reach areas quickly, providing aerial views of dense forests or mountains. Meanwhile, thermal imaging detects heat, which helps researchers spot warm-blooded creatures even in total darkness or thick foliage. These tools work together to give researchers a better chance of uncovering the truth about creatures like Bigfoot. They bring us closer to answers, even if the mystery remains unsolved for now. Bigfoot has been a part of human stories for a long time. Native American tribes, especially in the Pacific Northwest, have legends about large, hairy beings that live in the forests. For example, the name Sasquatch comes from Saskets, a word in the Halkemilim language spoken by First Nations peoples in southwestern British Columbia. These stories often describe Bigfoot as a special creature, standing between animals and humans. Some tribes see Bigfoot as a protector of the woods, while others tell tales of caution about meeting such a being. These legends show the deep connection between Native American cultures and Bigfoot. A famous Bigfoot sighting happened in 1967. Roger Patterson and Bob Gimlin were in Bluff Creek, California, when they recorded a short video of a creature walking along a creek bed. The creature looked like a large, bipedal, hairy figure, which many believe to be Bigfoot. This footage, known as the Patterson-Gimlin film, has been studied a lot. Some think it clearly shows Bigfoot, while others believe it was a hoax with someone in a costume.
Bigfoot. When she's walking across a sandbar and spreads her arms out and looks at the camera, frame 352, that's become the Bigfoot icon for our culture.
Even after many years, people still debate whether the film is real or fake. These stories and sightings have made Bigfoot a well-known figure in popular culture. They also keep the debate going about whether such creatures really exist in the hidden parts of our world.